Mornings at 6.
Thanks for being here. 6 a.m. on your Monday. It's Cinco de Mayo. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. Glad you're waking up with us. And yeah, it might be a little misty out there, a little wet outside. Let's check in with Evan. I cannot wait to see the rest of the week.
Oh my God.
Changes in store.
Yeah, we're going to be happy to see the summer-like weather come around. I feel like all weekend I was like, why was it that winter was so mild on us? And now we're in the month of May, and it's cold and raining. We still have some showers that are breaking apart as we speak, so you can see how the bulk of activity is taking place up around North County. By the afternoon, we're going to be in the mid-60s out there along the coast and inland, 50s for the mountains and 70s for the deserts. But boy, those rain chances drop significantly after today. We are back down to the single digits, and in some cases down to about a 0% chance of rain. What you're going to really be surprised at is what those temperatures will look like by the end of the week. I'll show you those in just a few.
One more day of this. Thank you very much, Evan. Later this morning, the San Diego City Budget Committee will start hearing presentations on the budget for this upcoming fiscal year.
The public will be able to weigh in later this afternoon on the CBS 8's Regina Irita live downtown with details on how everyone can make their voices heard in this process. Regina?
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, guys. Well, I can tell you that if you want to be part of the decision making for the upcoming fiscal year budget, the public comment will be taking place at 6 p.m. But city presentations actually begin at 9 a.m. Now, the new fiscal year takes effect July 1st. So we've already gotten a little bit of what we can expect. Last month, Mayor Todd Gloria introduced the fiscal year 2026 draft budget. It showed a potential $2.15 billion for the upcoming fiscal year, but it also suggested significant cuts to libraries, recreation centers, and some homelessness services to address the billion-dollar deficit, which the city is currently dealing with. The city says the proposed cuts could save an estimated $112 million, but that draft has already raised concerns among San Diegans. So it also includes that all city libraries could be closed on Sundays and Mondays, while recreation center hours would be reduced by more than 30% and a 10% cut to arts and funding. The city is also looking to eliminate the city's beach fire pits. Mayor Gloria defended the proposed budget, saying what the city is putting forward at this time is a balanced draft grounded in our economic reality, and adding that the city is still committed to keeping our neighborhoods safe and focused on reducing homelessness and fixing our infrastructure. So back out here, a revised budget proposal is expected on May 14th, but the final vote will actually take place on June 15th. For now, Eric and Netta, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Regina, thank you for the details there. This morning, Mayor Todd Gloria expected to announce another way to save money amid the massive budget deficit that Regina was just talking about. Officials will be cutting the leases for city office spaces. The mayor's office says that will save about $13 million over 5 years. We're going to learn more during an announcement at 8:30 this morning. They're saying, save our station. People in North County, as you see there, pushing back against a proposal to close the Northwestern Police substation. Many residents held a rally against the move yesterday. This substation serves Del Mar Heights, Carmel Valley, and Sereno Valley. The proposed closure projected to save the city about $1.7 million, but this will come with staffing cuts.
We want to make sure that our neighborhood is safe, and we want to make sure that it's not just the building. It's not this building that's closing. It's the 6 leadership officers that we're losing.
Residents are expected to continue their protests during the city budget hearings, which, as we've been reporting, begin today.
New this morning, Israel has approved plans to capture the entire Gaza Strip and remain in the territory for an unspecified amount of time. If implemented, this would vastly expand Israel's operations in Gaza and push hundreds of thousands of Palestinians to southern Gaza. Officials say this is meant to help their goal to defeat Hamas and free all hostages still held in Gaza. Israel's military chief said the army is now calling up tens of thousands of reserve soldiers. Today, the Trump administration is restarting collection of defaulted federal student loans.
It's part of a broader effort to roll back loan forgiveness policies and dismantle the Department of Education. CBS 8's Chris Groh live at San Diego State this morning with what people need to know who have these student loan payments. Chris?
Yeah, good morning. And remember, this is for those who have already been in default of their student loans, but
haven't had those penalties kick in because of some of that forgiveness that was put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, there were those who weren't even forced to make payments, right? We had the payment pause. Then, of course, those who were in default, any of the consequences for being in default were put on pause as well, too. Now, this means if you're in default, that's usually someone who hasn't made a payment in 270 days or more. And because they are going to begin the collection of those defaulted student loans today, that means that the government can now garnish your wages or even your state or federal benefits. That would start this summer. Now, the Department of Education estimates that about 5 million borrowers have defaulted on their student loans, and another 4 million are at least 90 days late on payments, which means they could sneak up into that default territory. Experts suggest all borrowers go to the student loan provider's website, confirm your status, see how long it's been since you've actually made a payment, update your contact information, and then look into income-based repayment or potential payment pauses called deferment or forbearance or consolidation or even refinancing. The best thing that you can do is look at your options. The worst thing that you can do is put your head in the sand. We've heard from a personal finance columnist who writes for the San Francisco Chronicle who had this to say about this development.
Time to, buckle down and figure out how you can make those payments. You can't just say, well, I think that'll all work itself out.
Yeah, now there's also another thing that you can do, which is called rehabilitation. That's where you kind of reclaim your status as being in process of paying and not out in default. That's something else that you can find at your borrower's website. Eric and Netta?
Chris, thank you. Kaiser Permanente has reached a tentative agreement with the National Union of Healthcare Workers regarding a new contract for Kaiser's mental health workers in Southern California. This marks the end of the union's open-ended strike, which began in October. The union says it will now review the agreement with its members, and a ratification vote is expected to be completed by this Thursday. The deadline to get a Real ID is this Wednesday. Air travelers will be required to have one or a passport to fly. There have been long lines at DMV offices, but there is a way to cut down on that.
If you want a time-saving experience, you should start your application online, upload your documents, schedule an appointment, because this will help reduce wait times in our field offices.
You'll still have to make an appointment and show up in person to verify the documents. And if you've had a name change, make sure to bring additional paperwork like a marriage certificate or change of name document.
They still have openings, though, throughout the month of May. Today is Cinco de Mayo. It commemorates Mexico's 1862 victory over French forces. This was the Battle of Puebla. Historians say it symbolizes the underdog triumphing over a powerful invader. Contrary to popular belief, it is not Mexican Independence Day. That would be in September. There will be a celebration for this Cinco de Mayo in Old Town starting at 11 this morning. Many, of course, restaurants will be taking part as well. And look at that.
Yeah, 5/5/25, the date today.
I'd recommend if you are going to Old Town, take public transportation, Uber. Parking can be rough around that area. It is still going to be a little showery through the morning. So between now and about midday, cloud cover holds on pretty strong. And then we'll watch as through the rest of the day, afternoon and evening, we start to see improvements. There could be a few remaining showers toward the afternoon out over the mountains. And then after today, that chance for rain drops from about 30% down to the single digits. And in some cases, by the end of the week, as that ridge of high pressure starts to build, down to 0%. This ridge that's going to be moving in our direction is a very strong ridge of high pressure, and it is going to give us clear skies, much warmer temperatures, diminished wind speeds. All of these things, though, aren't going to happen in an instant. It is going to be a slow and steady transition today and tomorrow towards sunnier skies and warmer temperatures. In the meantime, out the door right now, you're in the 50s along the coast and inland. The mountains are pretty cold. Mount Laguna at 34, Palomar Mountain at 39, but you got Carlsbad at 55, Encinitas at 54, and downtown San Diego at 57 degrees. While wind speeds will pick up in the afternoon hours, today is the final day where wind will be a threat. We'll see those wind speeds slowly die down after the afternoon stretch, and by the evening and overnight, we'll start to really see those winds die down. Sustained speeds right around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 25 to 30 miles per hour at times. 10-day forecast shows a very nice warming trend on hand, more than 20 degrees of warming in some cases. Out along the coast, it'll be about 15 degrees, but inland 20, 25 degrees. Out toward the mountains and deserts, could be up to 30 to 35 degrees of warming from this afternoon, Monday, all the way through this upcoming Saturday before a subsequent decline in temperatures that we'll watch for. Let's check in on traffic. Right now, we are taking you to one spot that has caused some pretty decent backups over the last several hours. It just got cleared. That's good news, but still causing some delays on the entry ramp to the 8 eastbound from the 805 southbound. That's where we're seeing that orange on the screen because that was blocked off. We had the entry ramp completely closed up until about 6 a.m. So over the last 10 minutes, crews have been able to clear that, get all those vehicles, 2 vehicles off of the entry ramp, and they're now clearing it, but you should still see some slightly slower speeds as everyone starts to make their way through. Let's check in on your border wait times. It is a 105-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, 75-minute wait at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry this morning, so about standard speeds to get you across the border there. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Evan. Still ahead, why President Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz prison.
Plus, what the president is now saying about running for a 3rd term. And the movie industry could be the latest target for more potential tariffs. And as we go to break, local military families need your help. You can donate items like diapers, toiletries, and drop them off at Navy Federal Credit Union branches. For more information, go to cbs8.com/community. Stay with us. We'll be right back.